All right, this will be the day trading recap for Friday, August 7th, 2026. So, looking at the pre-market here, price is at all-time highs. It's been pretty lackluster. We see this bounce yesterday. Price broke down yesterday below the balance, but what did it do? It bounced again. It chopped. In the pre-market, we had NFP news, which got a nice little rally, nothing crazy. Ideally, I wanted to see a nice move outside of this balance from NFP, but we didn't. So there's a few main things I'm watching. First, above this resistance level, if we can get a nice strong push above, I'd like to see continuation above. Pretty similar to the downside below here, looking for shorts. And then I was also watching for rejections at this resistance level and bounces down here at support, but I was not as keen to taking those. I was more looking for a breakout of the range. So yeah, there's all that. So price opens very slow. At this point, I'm kind of thinking it might just be a day where I get off early. Nothing's really happening. Then we start to move. My key level was 7.4. Looking for rejection, so of course we got a little bit short of that, had a nice sell-off, two possible rejection areas, but that would have been kind of hard to take, and that's why I didn't, because my key level was all the way up here. So then we break back above this key level after a nice rally, and that rally came not really out of anywhere significant. You can see I wouldn't have looked for bounces until down here in the 25s. It happened up here at the 45s, so nothing there for me. But price does finally break above that 7.4 key level, strong push above. We create a low volume node. I try a couple entries. This first entry I'm in at 76. I have a 4.5 point stop. End up cutting that early for a 2-point loss. Second entry I'm in at the 75.25s with a 4.75 point loss. And I end up cutting that for a 3.25 point loss. So we lose 5.25 points. Both of these were reduced size just because Friday, end of the week, lackluster action. With a pretty good week, I don't want to F anything up, throw it all the way on a Friday. So let's look at these entries. So on this move up, I see this low volume node develop here. You can also see it oopsies, I'm looking at the completely wrong entry. Sorry about that. Okay. Here's that low volume node I was talking about. Here it is again on the intraday profile. But we see aggressive buy and break above this level. We get a sharp aggressive pullback. That's what we want to see into our low volume node. We see absorption. Then we see it get absorbed again down here into this bid. Very thick bid, absorbing sellers. So I go ahead and get in here at the 7.6s. Stop loss at 7.1.50. To me, at this point, it's looking really good. We've had this low volume node that confirms the strength to the upside. Sharp aggressive pullback absorbed, pulls back a little bit more, absorbed again. That's what we like to see with this aggressive buying coming in. And the cherry on top is this thick bid. I mean, that's pretty bullish, not gonna lie. Only really red flag we have is this offer loading in, but if we get a push up to there anyways, I'm probably going reduced risk or break even. But we just didn't get it. So yeah, I was in from 31 to 33, so I get in right about here. I believe this is where I cut. So 31, yeah, this is my entry. We start chopping around a little bit. I'm like, all right, this thing is kind of getting exhausted right here where this buyer failed. You can see these two exhaustion attempts. At this point, I'm getting pretty antsy. I'm like, this is probably not going to work out. So when this push failed and we started selling off again, I cut it and got out right here at 7.4 for only half of what I was risking. I love that. Anytime you get the chance to make losers less than what they originally were, as long as you're not cutting yourself short or breaking rules, that's an A+ decision. Very happy with that. Same type of setup. I tried it one more time at 10:35. So basically what I saw was This is the first attempt I got in on. Another attempt absorbs here at the bid. I don't get in yet. We see a third. It's kind of hard to see because this orange is so thick. This bid is so thick that orange is like almost the same color as this red right here. But there is a pretty big circle right in here where sellers got absorbed a third time. So we've got that low volume node. We're absorbing 3 different times in this bid. Buying's coming off of that. At this point, I'm willing to take that again. It could have been smarter to potentially maybe wait for like a near-term absorption, aggression, exhaustion, like I did yesterday, a very short-term entry confirmation. And yeah, if I look at the tape here, that could have kept me out of this. It looks really funky because of this buying that came in here, but that'll restore it. So this is where I got in on this aggressive buying coming out of here. Maybe I could have waited for this pullback, and that could have been a sign that it's not going to work too, with this getting exhausted here. But at the current, my mindset when I took that trade was I took a small loss on it. This is the opportunity I've been waiting for all day. I'll try it one more time. Confirmation is pretty solid already. It could be a little bit better, yes, but we've got all we need for a continuation setup. Maybe look for that absorption, aggression, exhaustion if there was 20 minutes in between the creation of this low volume node and this pullback, but this is pretty quick, so it would have added to it, but I don't need to see that extra confirmation. This was good confirmation in itself. It just didn't work out this time, and that's going to happen. But to me, this looks bullish. We've pushed up, chopped around, held the chop, breaking out of the chop. It just didn't work out. So I cut this at 72. You can see pretty much I got in at 75.25. It started rejecting immediately. I think to myself, there is no reason to lose almost 5 whole points on this. When it's just going against me right away, I probably made the wrong decision. So I'd rather cut it now, accept that loss now, take 3.25 points on it, rather than taking a full 5-point loss on it. So yep, this is what it is. Had a pretty good week. 3 green days, 1 day no trades, 1 small red day. Today was smaller. I lost less today than I made on my smallest winning day this week in terms of both points and P&L. So that's good. That is a favorable metric. And I can't be mad about taking the trades today. I was extremely patient. I followed my plan. Part of me, the old me, is like, damn, you had a perfect green week. Why not just not do anything today and coast to the end of the week with a green week? Issue with that, if you trade every week like that, you miss out on every single Friday, and you're afraid to trade. I don't want to be afraid to trade. Second old version of me, you just lost $30 on a Friday. You need to make that back. I take 2 more dumb entries, all of a sudden I'm down 100. I've tripled my loss on the day. Now I'm really pissed off. Now I tilt, now the account's blown. Instead today, I took 2 very calculated trades, responded to red flags, accepted my loss cheerfully, and with that, I'm able to take a small red day. Yes, I'm not happy that I'm red, but I'm also not devastated that I blew my account or did a bunch of stupid crap. So that's one thing I'm really trying to work on, is when these red days do happen, 1, to have them not be, destroy my life, and 2, to be fine with them, because the only way you're going to make it as a trader is if you can be just as fine with a red day as a green day, as long as you followed your process and your rules. And I followed my process and my rules. Any other day, this first entry that I took could have boomed and made me 15 points in 10 seconds. It just is what it is on a day like today. All right. Peace.